we organize this kind of report because we are from UTS and our major is from everywhere, but this subject is organizational dialogue, so we have to ask some question, and we appreciate for your help to answer our question. So can you introduce about yourself?
Alright, so this company is called Austrian. It has opened for almost 5 years. I have worked here for 1.5 years, and my name is Michael. So a direct manager of this company. So nice to meet you guys. So welcome to our company and to have a nice conversation.
Joseph.
Alright, Joseph, Chris,
Frank.
Frank.
This report will, 12 hours will ask some question about this report, and he will focus on the writing, make notes.
Sure.
So can we start? Okay, for. So the first question is, what do you think of your cooperation communication climate in our company? Because we know each different culture has different way to communicate to each other, and we are not really know about this company. So can you?
Okay. Of our company are like the most Chinese. So the major language we're talking the company are Chinese.
Yeah.
And like we have a very distinctive culture of Chinese, and so we like basically there's a high hierarchy in the company. So the boss has all those like powers, and everyone has to obey it, and has to keep company privacy and secret of thing. Like about you saying the company, the cooperation communication. What do you mean by that? So you mean like the colleague to colleague, or so we ask to the client? Which part? So do you mean like ask to the client, or we ask like to colleagues?
Colleagues.
To colleagues, okay.
And we just separate two of them, the co-worker, like employees to employees, and like both the higher level to the lower level, the main two branch of communication. So can you introduce the first one, like employees, like your co-worker? How do you talk to your co-worker?
Okay, so first thing to remember is like you have to set your status. So you have to let them know like the thing I talk to you have to obey, and like mostly like put it into action. And the second thing is the trust. So trust between like us is very important. So
to build
like
cooperation.
If I say like one of my real estate side, they don't trust me. They won't make good sales. They have to like 100% believe in the property. Then it will be like make success on the sales. Yeah. Also to like to the boss. Like now we're getting bigger and bigger. In old time, like we have this team leader, just like one boss, and others just work as salesmen. But now we got like the top boss, the CEO, the direct manager, and the second like team leader, like me. Then there's a salesperson, like consultant. So 3 levels: top one, middle.
Yeah, like most of the Chinese company, the hierarchy, first one, second one, middle one, and the last one. Yeah. Okay.
So as you just mentioned, there have been a Korean in the company as a team worker. So how do you communicate with them based on?
Okay, so that Korean guy, he has a Chinese background. So he lives in Liaoning province, but like between the border of Korea and China. So he can speak both Korean and Chinese. So it's okay for us to communicate. But like we also communicate English, but that's not not a part like the top language we're speaking here.
Yeah. Okay.
Mostly Chinese, yeah.
So what do you think of the cooperation communicate climate? Is it help to your cooperation, or it's just can communicate with each other better?
Like I reckon, like from a manager to a co-worker, there must be like one of the most important things: authority and trust. So the co-worker has to be like 100% believing the the manager. Otherwise, they won't they won't do the thing they should do. And between the co-workers, I find them they're quite supporting. Everyone's very nice to each other, and if they ask questions, but they won't come to me. They always ask questions to the one next to them.
Mm-hmm.
If they got answer, they'll come to me. So yeah.
So is there any activities to improve this climate? Hold some actions between the co-workers or?
I always tell them to if you got questions, it's the best thing to ask me. But I don't have the time to help you guys. So I will assign few people in my group who who has the most knowledge of real estate and has stayed the company for more than half a year or a year. So they have enough knowledge to answer them correctly. And if they can't answer it, they come to me or come to the bigger boss.
Okay, as we can see, there are many different individual departments in one company, especially among the big company. And we wonder what kind of the cooperation could be among the individual departments. How can you communicate to each other and to work together and get a good work?
Okay, so we got a meeting twice a week.
Meeting twice a
And
week.
all those co-workers have to attend 2 days at least a week. I think for salesmen, we mostly have to go outside to meet clients and take them to the property site to have a view or inspect the floor plan. So we give them they have to requirements 2 days in the company, and the rest 5 days you can go outside, meet your clients and do your own things. And I think most sales company only gives one day or half day, or just go for the meeting only for attendance. But I think 2 days is quite important because you can feel your belonging to your company. Otherwise you just come for 2 meetings and you go. It's not a good way to keep everyone together.
It's really important.
Yeah.
It's just if there are not suitable cooperation, it will create some competitive in one company. So comparison.
Oh yeah, we have competitors there's one called PIA. You've heard of it? There's a okay.
I've heard that before.
So we got PIA. What's the other one? I forgot. It's a very big one. So there's competitors, but we sell different sites. So we got our own property, a cooperation with developer. So the thing we sell, they don't sell.
Yeah.
And that's make difference. We got a special site that's good location, has education, has all this transportation and very good demographic background, and that causes difference between us and them. They also have their own private property as well, but it doesn't bother actually.
Like you saw, there are many questions about the many problems in this one. Do you have some effectively cross-function? Do you have some
Cross-function.
Yeah, cross-function and
Cross-
cross-functional
Correspondence
departments. Cross-functional departments. And do you have some good strategy or some good way to solve this problem?
So if I've never had any colleague fighting each other because everyone's focusing on themselves, not on people's next to them. It's, if they we're in company for 5 days a week, there won't be issues. But 2 days and some people working
Still on dual looping. Still is dual looping.
No. For example, if you work in management side,
Yeah.
you work Wednesday, Thursday, you guys won't meet anyway. So
Just a little bit like a part-time job. I said
no, part time you come for meeting now. You have to stay in company for 2 days. Full time 2 days.
That's a different climate in our company.
Yeah, climate's different. It's quite good.
Okay, so let's talk about.
And there's very few cooperation. Every salesman go outside by their own. If I talk to a client, just myself, no other persons. So there's not much cooperation in this company. But we got meetings, so that's kind of group cooperation. We have to share experiences and share ideas. That can consider as one of the cooperation, but most time, when we do our own work or meet our clients, there's no cooperation. It's just one person meet one client, or one person meet many clients.
Yeah, Yes, and means individual people had more focus on their own job, not others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just like they grant information
Yeah.
from us during meeting,
Yeah.
then they can also spread information or like you share with the clients, share with the friends,
Yeah.
and I think all like potential customers or maybe they want to buy and talk to themselves, not us.
Suppose
Yeah.
locate separates the goals and the jobs to each person,
Yeah.
and each person have to achieve
So
these goals.
it's like everyone work for themselves.
Yeah.
You know, they get the information from us, then they work for themselves.
Oh, great. Okay. Do you have any other question in this part?
So as you just mentioned, the boss have the manpower, the man author. So if the staff has more, more effective opinions, so can they just go straight to talk to the boss?
Alright, there's one thing like some people ask do we sell this site? His clients tell him, my other agent told me there's other site for selling at better price. So people come to ask me first, do we sell that site? And our answer is no. So it's a very bad thing for co-workers to ask us about different site because we don't sell that area. And if he asks me, that's considered as untrustworthy. So you have to believe that your own, your own property is the best one. You have to transfer clients to your own, your selling product, not your other clients. Sorry, other agents' product.
Okay, so let's move to another topic related to the social media. So eachbody use phone and computer. It's easy to communicate with each other, and so as far as I know, there are different software being used in different corporation. So can you introduce our company what kind of technology, social media?
We basically use WeChat, email. That's the main thing we use. And so colleague to colleague we use WeChat. But if you like to spread information on the social media, we choose Weibo, WeChat, newspapers, news articles. Also there's a very popular website like which one? There's many of them.
So do you use Facebook?
No, we do the marketing on Facebook, but there's not much clients on Facebook. Most Facebook users are teenagers, so between 10 to 30s.
Is that the reason?
And
because the Facebook public every information to the public.
Facebook, we do marketing on Facebook. It's not a good thing to spread things on Facebook. There's a privacy control also. Facebook, their own company, they have to control it. They hate people who are spreading advertising stuff on them. So if you got too much on Facebook, they will delete your Facebook. That's one thing we don't put on Facebook. Also, the people on Facebook, they mostly post their self-lives and useless things.
It will avoid the complication with your coworkers.
Sorry?
It will avoid complication or contradiction with your coworkers.
Yeah, that's true.
That's good. So have you met any complication in this social media? Like WeChat or...
So, another example, if we got a new site for sale, we're afraid our competitors copy the information and make them their own. So you have to block some of the people doing that. So only certain people can see our post, and other competitors can't see it. But you also have to make the connection with them. Yeah.
Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, I have some internal organizational questions for how do you describe your boss?
He's a very quiet person. But once you ask him something to do for you, he will do very quick. So So I think he's an activist, so he do things in time, but also has those status make people like afraid and not afraid like respect them.
Yeah. So, what could happen if you have some different ideas with?
Ideas?
Yeah.
I'm sure you should keep that way. It's good.
It's good. So, I have another question that who will take the responsibility if some issues is caused by the poor communication between the different levels? You know, like misunderstanding and confusion.
Okay, do you mean like misunderstanding?
Yeah.
Okay.
So who will take the responsibility? Boss also stuff.
It's the best thing like we have to protect our boss. So even like he make like misunderstanding, we have to take our own shoulders, and like he will know anyway. So it's okay. So like in every corporation or every company, you have to protect your boss. Even like he says something wrong, you have to take on your own shoulder to make sure he's okay, he's safe. And like you don't have to afraid that you like you'll be like in a bad situation because he know it anyway, so he will support you at the back. So first thing, never betray anyone. Make sure like you take everything on your own shoulder.
Okay.
But what happens if the employees has better appointing, but the manager didn't give the person to see this one?
Sorry, say again.
And if they
If your co-workers?
if a co-worker have a better appointing, but
Better or bad?
better
Better.
opinion.
Opinion, yeah.
Yeah, but the manager don't give his any chance to see this, to express their own opinion.
Yeah, he just means
How
that
to
the
deal
boss
with
has
this?
the decision making rights. You know.
There's no much decision making rights in like our company, like we just like share our information, like what's the new property, what's like good for sales and like what's the condition, and share information with our employees and they understand and perform. There's not much like sharing ideas. Or like there will be one, so if you go like display room,
Yeah.
so I want to do like small decoration inside the display room, and there will be like small ideas like how to put that thing there, and that will be. I think that could be shared anyway. So if you got a good opinion, you can share with me. We can like perform that anyway.
So pay attention to is like just like you said, different culture from a different job.
Yeah.
Like it's really difficult, especially for our students. All of our backgrounds from China, and we from sometimes we try to find some job in here, but first one, the reason is English. Obviously, our English is not good enough, and secondly, I guess it's a culture. So how do you think about this one? How can I solve this problem out, and how can I find a good job or good future in different culture?
The first thing, if you don't work in Australia, English is the number one priority. You have to be very easy to communicate with your boss, with your clients, with anyone. And but for our company, English is not the first thing we consider. We consider like your personal skill, so how your people skill, like how you even like you got your very bad inside joke, but if you can communicate with your clients, and if you are like you can share your. You can like let your client trust you. That's number one, and that like that takes off everything. If you make like very bad English, but if you got good people skill, we take it. Yeah, because like our focus is mostly our Chinese clients. Yeah, I think you guys got all like speak very fluent Chinese, and that would be.
Is this?
But you have to understand a bit English. If you can't understand nothing, you can't like read your vocab, you can't read your your description of the property. You have to at least like
That's a culture.
Yeah, you have to be like
you have
100%
knowledge.
like a local people, but you have to like possess at least maybe like band 5 and band 4.
So is this still a challenge for our company to find some like
Yeah.
white people
We
clients.
don't want white people.
Yeah.
I don't want people, white people want to, there's a story, very funny. I met one of my friend, he's white guy, he also is Asian. Before he found his wife, he didn't make much sales, and his wife is Chinese. So his wife helped him to translate English to Chinese and post on his website, forum in China, and help him link like advertise on WeChat, and that's like how she made him rich. So like we found like the language Chinese is better than like English in this Korea.
It's doable.
It's really better than the
Okay, guys, do you have any other questions?
but like if you have good English skill, you can be human resource manager, you can be the receptionist. But otherwise you can't be a receptionist because people like there's a developer, a staff comes to your company have to like take after you can't speak English, that's very bad. But for sales, it's alright, if you focus on Chinese and you sales, you should be alright, if you can't speak English, it's alright.
You speak good English, simple English. Yeah.
Yeah, also I just see, I saw your slide that if employees have some problem, they are going to consult you. They are going to solve the problem for them, so you must going to be friends with your employees.
My background is not like for sales or for like economic or business study. I studied education. I learned one thing from education. You can be nice with the students, but never be friends with them.
Can be nice, but never be friends
Yeah.
with.
You know what? If you be friends with your students or your employees, they will take that advantage.
Yeah.
Or say, okay, if I be late to work, I'll say, my boss is my friend, okay, it's alright to be late. And that's not acceptable to the company. So you can be nice, but you never be friends.
So still need to keep the
You only
rules.
you only be friends with the same level people. You never be friends with your lower one. But that's not racist or anything. It's just normal. You have to keep that boundary between you and employees.
I guess you remain.
You never be friends.
You remain.
You be nice with them.
Mission trouble.
Remember that if you want to be like any manager in the future, that's very important. If you be too friendly, they will take that advantage. I'm really sure that there's a human nature in there. Oh, I'm close with this guy. If he's a bigger boss, it's okay. I'll be late. I do shit stuff. It's okay. But that's not good. That's very, very bad.
And could you increase some salary to me?
No, we all has a
If
rule.
you
in
are
there.
friends, yeah.
But if you sell how many above, you get that much commission. You can sell, that. So it's all been set.
Yeah.
There's no negotiation into it. It's been set. Any questions?
Questions?